Manish, great to see you. Thank you for having us down to the property today.
Thank you, man. Good to see you as well, and thank you for the opportunity.
We're at NH, the collection of the Palm. I would love for people listening and watching to get an understanding of Manish, where you've come from, your history in the hospitality industry, and how you've ended up here in Dubai as we look out onto the sea here as general manager.
Great. Thank you. It's been a long journey. It's been a very interesting journey. I'm coming from a very humble family back home in India. In India, when you're growing up, during my time, it was either you become an engineer or a doctor. And I wanted to be a cricketer. Unfortunately, not a cricketer, not a doctor, not an engineer. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to meet people, and hotel management was coming up that time. I did my hotel school, worked with Pizza Hut as a waiter, grew through my ranks, got an opportunity to work in Maldives to open Taj Exotica Maldives. So moved there 2001, and from there, never looking back. I think that was the best decision I ever did. I stayed in Maldives for nearly 10 years. I did a couple of opening work for One and Only, work for Anantara as well, opened the Anantara Hotel. At that time, I didn't even know what Anantara brand is. This was the first property outside Thailand. They were building Anantara there after tsunami. And it's a saying that right time, right place. For me, that was the right company, right time, right place. And just started growing there. I joined as assistant F&B, became resort manager, became resorts manager, and first job as general manager in 2010 in Thailand. After that, moved to Seychelles. After making that successful, opened Avani brand in Seychelles for a year. Then back in Thailand in Hua Hin, became cluster general manager. And then I left in 2019 before pandemic. I joined a small company as chief hospitality officer. Owning side was running 9 hotels, a Hard Rock Cafe, QSR, some Japanese noodle company was running that, and we were in pipeline, took that company public listed in stock exchange. Unfortunately, COVID happened, and that's where things started going different way. I had a job, not that I lost my job. I was in touch with Minor as well. Then this opportunity came. Dubai, I always wanted to work in Dubai, working in Southeast Asia, an exotic place. And this was the first NH collection, got a call from Minor. And here I was in August last 2022, actually.
Okay. Amazing. So about 18 months in Dubai?
Yes.
You've worked in many different countries and many different cultures and many different service elements. What would you say after 18 months in Dubai? Would you say the difference between service and guest expectations in Dubai versus some of the other countries you've worked in?
Dubai is it's a multinational place where you're not working with locals. You're working with the full expat force. 99.9% is your expat force. It's definitely a different culture. And I had the chance to work in Maldives, where I had 28 nationalities. Here I have 35 nationalities working with me. When you work in a place like Thailand or anywhere in Southeast Asia or Maldives, you have a work quota where you need to have a local. And for us working in a hotel, it's very important to understand the local culture, local philosophy, ethos, and things, how a local works. Whereas in Dubai, it was much easier to adapt to the culture. They're all international people here. Your workforce is very international. So it was easier. It was not challenging.
Can I ask just a question about the Maldives? I always wondered. I've been a few times, and I think I've stayed for 5 nights and 7 nights. And by the end of it, you're like, okay, I can go back to normal life now. I need to get out into the city and away from this beautiful island. What is it like? You said 10 years?
10 years.
Can you talk us through what it feels like to be on that island 10 years?
It is definitely a challenging life. And if you look at it, I lost my hair in Maldives. So it is very, very interesting. It makes you very strong. And I think when I moved, I was very young in 2001. I moved there. And I was changing island every 2 years. It was an opening. I worked with Taj, then I moved to One and Only. And when you change from one island to the other island, it's like changing a country. I would say the life is tougher than when you work. It's tougher than ship. At least ship is moving, whereas island, you're stuck in an island. You have your guests, you have your employees. You're all seeing the employees every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So it is definitely very, very challenging behind the scene. It's not an easy life to live. But I was growing in my career. I moved to Maldives as restaurant manager, and I left Maldives when I became general manager. So journey, that kept me busy. Journey was fantastic. I did 4 openings there. I went through tsunami. That was a tough time. So I've seen all those changes. So yeah, it was a great experience for me.
Amazing. If we bring it back to today, we're at NH. How many rooms have we got here in the resort?
532.
Whew, okay, so how many team members have you got?
I've got 280 team members.
Okay, so big team.
It
Can you
is.
talk us through how you manage that, how you manage the diversity? Like we have a much smaller team in our company, but even one thing I noticed was we have some people who are in Amsterdam, and Dutch people are very direct, right? Whereas UK and Irish people aren't as direct. I'm quite unique in being direct as an Irish person. And I had to ask some of the Dutch team members on our Slack channel to start using emojis when they're asking questions, to lighten how they ask a question, because the cultural difference of being direct and blunt. You've got, you said, 35 different nationalities, over 200 people. How do you manage that?
You know, I think I'm blessed. I had an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to work with different countries. And I am also very direct. To manage people, for me, first thing is communication. Communication has to be there with team members, and honesty. I think that's important. I'm also very direct. But yes, I have learned when I started my career, when I see to be a bit diplomatic as well, it needs courage to give clear feedback to a team member or to a department head whether things are wrong. And you have to be patient, you need to understand, you need to deal with as different nationalities and all. I think Southeast Asia made me a bit mild, and that helps me. And also age plays a big role. When you get older as well, you get a little bit calmer. So it's easy now to handle with different nationalities.
Okay, amazing. We're in an era where sustainability is big. Is there any initiatives that you're quite passionate about? Is there stuff that you're driving here within the group and obviously within Minor as a large organization? Where does sustainability play in terms of your priorities as a business?
I think if you are not any hotel which is not focusing on sustainability, I think they will lose soon. It's a very, very key thing these days. And I have to admit, more and more education I'm getting from the younger generation. My daughter, she's 16. And amount of information and the education for this young generation, what they are taught in the school is phenomenal. It was not during when we were growing up. So for us, as a Minor, as a brand as well, sustainability is very, very important. We have, in fact, for all our team members, in our performance appraisal as well, there is a line which talks about sustainability where performance is monitored. And I have to admit, Dubai as a destination, fully on with the sustainable. They really want to move forward with a lot of stuff. And NH Collection Dubai, the Palm, I think because we built from scratch, it's not an existing building. We have been blessed with that. A lot of initiatives we are doing at the moment. For example, we have our own water bottling plant. We don't use any plastic in the hotels. We have for key card as well, it's a wooden card. Now we are taking it to next level where it will be working with your app, the NH app, where you can open your doors, the guest rooms. We have solar panel, that helps. We have all the condensation from air condition, which is coming out, we are using for irrigation system. We are also tied up with local farms, where it comes for food-wise and all with carbon footprint. And I am discussing with a company where I want to take it to next level. We talk about farm to table and all, where I'm working on a technology where you are sitting on a restaurant, you are eating, let's say, cabbage or cauliflower. You want to see how it's on your table. You just scan the code and you can see the journey of the vegetable, from which farm it has come, how it is delivered to the hotel, and how it has come to the table. Working on this, it might take 6 to 9 months or maybe a year. So it is very, very important for us.
Amazing. Good to hear, because even with the water bottling plant, we spoke to another group who gave me a bit of insight that the plastic bottles are manufactured in Ras Al Khaimah. They get shipped to Europe, they're filled up, and they get shipped back to Dubai. So which makes absolutely no sense. So it's great to see that you're doing that. Can I ask what your opinion is on the balance of sustainability and luxury? And I'll give you an example. I went to Jumeirah at the weekend, Madinat area, at their hotels, my favorite complex in Dubai. You go into the bathroom, they have nice towels when you wash your hands. It does feel luxury. I went to another boutique hotel, which I'm not going to name this week, but it's obviously not at the same level as Jumeirah. And they had the scanner for the piece of tissue to come out one by one, and you have to keep putting your hand up to it. Didn't feel so luxury, but I get the difference in sustainability. How do you balance that?
It's a very thin line. I mean, you can have your products in the room from Bulgari or Louis Vuitton, and you can keep, and you're absolutely right, to get the towels, what you use as the towel. Luxury doesn't stop there. I mean, what we have done in our hotel is, if you will look at our room amenities, we have gone all sustainable product. We don't use toothpaste. We give tablets. So there is a glass jar, there is a tablet, you put it in your mouth, which is, it can be considered as a luxury or not luxury, but a guest, they get really, the feedback is phenomenal that they have never seen it. So you just put your tablet in your mouth, use again, our toothbrush, all sustainable. The entire room amenity is sustainable, and they like it. And I have not seen a single complaint. In fact, on social media, a lot of feedback about this. So we have gone to that level. Then looking at towels and all, when it comes for quality of towel, definitely that's very important with the thread counts and all, bed sheet and all. What we have done in our hotel is, I think I have realized it's very, very important to incentivize. We always want incentive. We want something. So we have gone to a next level, because you go to hotels, they talk about, you hang this card, and, we will not, if you put your towel on the floor, we will clean it, or if not, we will not clean it. So what we have done is we have incentivized the guest. So at the check-in, we give you a card. You hang that card outside your room. Nobody comes to your room. What do you get? You get a drinks coupon. So if you are two, you get 2 coupons inside your room, the voucher, and you go and enjoy the drinks. We implemented this 6 months back, and you will be surprised. When we do a calculation, we have saved, after taking out the cost of the drinks and all, we have saved around 500,000 dirham. So when it comes for sustainability as well, you look at cost-wise, of course, supporting the nature, the laundry, and taking the bed sheets, the towels, and all. So I think it's important that most of the hotels, they should look into this sustainable part.
Yeah, I think when you can give an actual ROI in terms of money saved or money generated, it makes a lot more sense for people. And I think it's a little bit airy-fairy to think people would just be sustainable without seeing what an ROI is. We're a capitalist organization. We're not charities. So thank you for sharing it. A lot of people don't share the financials. I appreciate it. You seem to be very innovative. I don't know you that long, Manish. I hope to get to know you a lot better, but you seem to be innovative with your approach. But you're a leader of over 200 people. And when you leave for the end of the day or the weekend or on a holiday, how do you make sure that the rest of the team lead with innovation at the forefront when you're not around?
These days, I personally think innovation is growth. If you don't innovate, you die. It's not only in the hotel industry, whether you talk about medical field, you talk about technology, you talk about phone. I mean, if you're not innovative, somebody else will come and take your business. So for me, that's very important. And I believe in empowering people. And it's not only me. I would not say I want to be innovative. I want to do things differently. Every year is different. There is a lot of competition in each business, and we have to be ahead of the game. So what I do is I have empowered my team members from line staff to manager level. We have in our canteen, we have a suggestion box where they can write about anything, what they think. It could be some small idea as well. And I personally get involved with human resources. I go through each innovation, and we incentivize team members. If something which we implement and we see a good result, I read a lot. I encourage my team members as well to read a lot. And technology is the way to move forward with AI and things what's coming in. And we have to really keep evolving. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. But if we don't try, we don't know. So I believe in trying. I do not want to keep doing the same things what has been done for last 2-3 years. So that's the key. It's not only me, it's the team who's behind me.
And you say that, which is great to hear. One thing I might try and challenge you on is, we're in technology, okay? And technology about moving fast. It may be different in the wider group of Minor, but what I see with the big brands is they want to make technology decisions at a group level a lot of the time. And then the individual hotels have to move at the pace of a big organization with over 500 hotels to manage.
Right.
That does not go hand in hand with the speed of innovation around technology. So do you feel sometimes curtailed, or how do you manage the big brand with what you want to do and maybe something you want to implement but you can't get brand approval? How do you manage that relationship?
No, that's where I think I've been blessed. I think Minor is a very it's not a cookie cutter brand. It's a very dynamic brand, and the best part is that once they hire a general manager, the buck stops at general manager. We have a corporate team, we have a regional team to support, and they're also very open when it comes for technology. And you know, we are into human business, and technology will never take over hospitality. There is a lot of talks, and okay, we can save cost here, we can save cost there. But for me, technology, use it for your benefit. You do see what it is when it comes for, let's say, revenue management as well. We do have a fantastic technology. We do use, but end of the day, decision has to be made by human. Something goes wrong in the market. Let's say, if there is a fire in the building, and the technology for revenue management would not know, because that's a technology, what information you put in. So human element is very, very much needed. With Minor, I think I'm blessed. I will not name brands, but I know a couple of brands where it's a very stringent that you have to follow this. We are very, very flexible.
Okay. Well, I know the brands Marriott are terrible for it, right? And like they're announcing their new technology product on the guest side, and they're going to release it in 2 years. Like, that's hilarious, because it'll be a completely different technology in 2 years. So right. I think they're snails when it comes to that, and I think they do curtail a lot of the brands. Sorry, anyone from Marriott who's listening, but it's just the truth, right? So it's great to hear that Minor, as a relatively big group, move at that speed. I'd like to go on to something that maybe you've challenged in your career, right? Maybe like some sort of big crisis has happened and, was maybe really tough during that period, but you look back on it and you go, wow, the amount of things that I learned from that moment. Like, what would that be?
Good question. You know what I have gone through? I would not say, I'm not so old that I've gone through a lot, but for me, working in hospitality, I think every day is a crisis. You really cannot plan. You plan and things go different direction. I have seen, when it comes to big crisis, I have seen tsunami. I was in Maldives and I've gone through that. Economy crisis, which overall the whole world, but for me, tsunami was specific to few countries. And COVID, I was in Southeast Asia. I was based in Thailand. That was near 2.5 years of what I've gone through. So for me, dealing with these situations is, one thing I've learned is be honest, and communication is the key. If whatever is going through, you might not be, it's not that all the decision which comes from, because you are the leader, is right. You need to communicate to your team member. Like tsunami, I go back. I hope I don't face it again. That was a nightmare. I didn't even know the word tsunami. I think most of the world didn't know what tsunami was. And the thing, I was not a general manager at that time, but the things what I learned was that communicate honestly to the guest, to your team members, and work on the same, because we are all into we are human beings, and this something crisis comes, we understand that it's not in our control. COVID as well, if I take COVID as an example, what we were going through, a lot of companies, I would not name again, first thing was let's fire people in hospitality, and that's what's happening. The result is a lot of people don't want to work in hospitality, what they have gone through. And I believed, and I was with a different company at that time, that firing is just not yes, you can, but it's not a long-term solution. You discuss, you be open, you discuss. The other part, your employees, they understand as well. They are also on the same boat. So we could keep most of our team members that time in our hotels. And also for me, I think communication is key. Communication, and be honest. What you feel as a leader, and hear from the employees and the guests as well.
Amazing. We talked a little bit about before we actually started, which was wellness and health and fitness. And we talked about sustainability during this conversation with the environment. I actually think like a big thing leaders should start doing is actually bring more wellness to the workplace, because I think that's a far bigger issue than the environment, if I'm being completely honest. So like, I know you've gotten really into your fitness recently. Is that something you're looking to bring to the wider team, to get them involved in wellness? I know His Highness does the 30 for 30 in November, I think it's around then. So Dubai is very much a culture of health and fitness. Is that something you're you're excited to bring to the team?
I am very, very excited. In fact, my team member says, okay, you know what, give us some time. And I've been in fitness for the last 10 years, but I think Dubai, where it motivates me, where I see the country, where the tourism board is so ahead of the game, working in different countries. So for me, that's fantastic. And here, I think I fully agree. Fitness is something, it's for future of each one of us. And I've joined F45. I did do a couple of team building. I took my team, we did 45 minutes of exercise, and next a few of them were sick and all, and few of them were motivated. But I think this small step, and I am in discussion with few trainers as well, at least twice in a week, we do activity together. And then, you know what, it's impossible to convert everyone into fitness, right? And I think it will just once realization comes. But from my end, I will give full support. Those who want to, the 2 days will become 3 days. Maybe in the beginning, 100 team members join. We reduce to 50, maybe 30, but at least those 30, they take it forward. So for me, fitness is very, very important.
I love it. I love it. Me too. I'm looking at Zara here behind the camera, who's in my team. So I'm really pushing everyone in my team as well. So congrats on that. I think you should lead from the front. If we sit down in a couple of years, where are you, Manish? Where is your career going? Where do you want to take it? Are you loving Dubai? Talk me through that. Where's the future for you?
Very good question. You said 5 years.
You pick the time frame.
What? I hope I retire by that time. No, I'm sure I will not have enough money. But I think Dubai is my new home. In the beginning, I will be honest, it took time for me to adjust. And I'll be honest, it's become very, very expensive to live here. But for me, I look at a lot of opportunities here. I enjoy the safety part of it. I have a daughter, and it's the safest country, I would say, where I have been. So a lot of pros and less of cons. And where do I want to be? Definitely, I will not be a single hotel GM, because after leaving minor cluster GM, I was doing on something bigger role. I've come back as a GM. I would be doing something in regional or corporate team, and definitely helping the community. For me, that's very, very important, helping the community and guiding, be a mentor for a couple of youngsters who wants to grow. So that's what I'm.
Let's finish on that. I'm a big believer that hospitality has so much to offer people as a career. It's like a passport to the world. And it doesn't just mean working at a bar or working in a restaurant. Like, I still see myself in hospitality, but I have a technology company just bringing tech to the hotel world. What would you say to younger people listening? Because we're struggling to get young people into hospitality.
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I think COVID changed the whole dynamics of hospitality industry. I have to admit, it's not an easy path. It takes time to grow. For younger people, I would say you have to work hard wherever you go. But the opportunity to travel, to meet people, you need to be, if you take this field, you have to be true to yourself. You have to be hardworking. You have to be dedicated. You have to be patient. Success doesn't come. I started my career as a waiter, and where I am sitting now, it's been a long journey. And you need to be self-motivated to come in. If these things are not there, choose some other industry, not hospitality. But one thing I can assure you, where I'm sitting, people I am connected with, and just thanks to hospitality, when it comes to Formula One drivers, to cricket players, to Bollywoods and all, it's unbelievable. As a normal person, I don't think so you'll be able to meet them or interact with them, and the opportunities to travel. So it is definitely glamorous, but it's not an easy way. You need a lot of hard work.
Manish, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.